morning and has called for an investigation to be carried out rapidly. A crisis cell has been formed.
An investigation will be launched within the next 72 hours. And we will be conducting autopsies. The President has announced and confirmed that funeral arrangements will be taken care of, and the costs of the injured in hospital will be looked after. This may ease the pain of this tragedy.
Ivorians are in shock and are asking a good many questions. They are wondering if this could have been avoided.
Errors must have been made in security and also in first aid, because it took a long time for emergency aid to arrive. The responsibility for this should be established and sanctions should be applied.
How this disaster happened is still unsure. Police have explained that the stampede occurred when two crowds moving in opposite directions ran into each other, and there may have been some instigators. Some victims also fell into a large hole on the construction site. The Ivorian press notes that authorities are responsible for the tragedy.
There was another bad news on New Year's Eve in Angola, where 16 people died during festivities at a Pentecostal church New Year Mass in Luanda. More than 120 others were reported injured. And members of the rebel coalition fighting the government of Francois Bozize say they will halt their attempts to enter the besieged city of Bangui. Let's look at this report for more on that.
16 people died and 120 were injured at a religious celebration in the Angolan capital of Luanda. For New Year's Eve, the Pentecostal church had organized a service at the Luanda stadium. The crowd was larger than expected. A stampede broke out at the entrance. People were unable to escape because only 2 of the 4 stadium doors were unlocked. Most of the victims were trampled to death or died from asphyxiation. Rebels in the Central African Republic have halted their advance on the capital Bangui. Seleka, an alliance of several rebel groups, are calling for the resignation of President Bozize, say they are willing to sit down to talks with mediators in Gabon, a call echoed by the country's main opposition leader. No matter what side we're on, we must go to Libreville and hold these talks. In any case, that's what I hope for my country, and the earlier, the better. Somalia has taken a technological leap forward. Encouraged by greater security in the country, Somalia's telecommunications provider has decided to offer third-generation mobile technology. 3G subscribers will now have access to broadband internet on their mobile telephones and to wireless services. A first for the country.
Well, we now take our second break. We'll be right back.
Yiti jonge épices say marinade dina neex ba yokk sa appétit ak jonge épices jongel ba sës jongel ba faw ni jongel ba ca biir cin. Hello, good morning. It's gonna be a good day.
Start your day with Armonti, pure margarine with the best ingredients. Also ideal for frying and baking. Every day, an Armonti day.
Ak épices naturelles yi ci jonge super doré. Say gruyère ak say ceeb day gën a doré te di nga am cëfka bu amul fenn. Jongel ba sës, jongel ba faw, ni jongel ba ca biir cin.
Production inin na banko President Bala Bunyari Bakoto, His Excellency Sheikh Professor Dr. Alhaji Yaya AJJ Jame me yalon ka tele mun na banko President wolle be kulli bakala ila album ole ba fala me yeko fatale ku sa rew ke hakilo bulande ila banko la nyimu album kuta kutalati me yalon ko imina wala kulli la na jali ngaral men yalon ko wolle be mabe la nyun kulli yoto wolle mu jali ba ku yatati Yusuf Ngom Modou Karage Sambu Suso Tafa Artist anin Jalex Akuntu fatale ku sa rew ke hakilo bulandi ila bankola mu album leti me yalon ko me ya dépense wala problem na banko president bati His Excellency Sheikh Professor Dr. Alhaji Yahya AJJ Jammeh abe benna sibitu lungole fe January karoti tang animfula abe dakla talan se suto katawe santole ibakala le Kairaba Beach Hotel le nyimbe kala si manko di nyidi bentulu mbalete me yalonko anyonte si yala ja ila tabulol dabe larintenne platinum wulitan lulu diamond wulitan nani gold wulitan saba silver wuli muwang bronze wulitan bitum mo konkili nan wolbe wuli kili ne jola burka joro ke aninka palaso muta yendi bafala ko January karoti ni nani jumalungo Petawbi production anila album kuto me mina kullile bafala ko nyadi fatalu ko sa rew e hakilo bulandi ila bankola.
Well, up next, we take a look at the sports with our Fatou Jassi. Over to you.
Thank you, Aji. Basketball is gaining prominence in Senegal as more and more young people live the dream of making it to the NBA in the United States. The Chess Basketball Academy is one of the famous names in the country and has already produced talented players who are doing well in America. We have details of the story in this report.
It's 5 in the morning and students at the Seed Basketball Academy in Thiès in Senegal are already up and running. The boys who are between 15 and 18 years old are keen to become future basketball players, just like Amadou Gallo-Fall, one of the founders of the academy, who's also a vice president of the NBA.
I was also a student at the academy, so I know what the benefits are when you get up to train early in the morning. It teaches students about good timekeeping, and it even helps them concentrate on their studies.
After training, the students eat a hearty breakfast and set off for one of the best schools in Thiès. The academy aims to give students a good education as well as train them to be good athletes.
By the time you're 34 or 40, you can't continue playing sports professionally. It's only our studies that will help build a future for us.
Once students graduate, they hope to have top careers like their predecessors. There are 40 basketball players in the US who were students in Thiès.
Once a student has his diploma, we help him find a university. Our aim is not just to train professional basketball players, but to make them good students first, and then good athletes.
Senegal's Seed Academy is financed through private donations. It has no local or national funding. The academy is seeking additional funds from the Senegalese state so it can set up 2 new academies and start a section for girls.
Well, actually, basketball is not a very popular sport in the Gambia. Do you play basket?
Of course, fighting with basket, you only need to be tall and tough, and I have the look, you know.
Are you tall?
Yeah, I'm a good basketballer. From sports, a reminder of our top stories before we go. Heads of departments under the Office of the President have been meeting with Professor Jammeh to identify work-related challenges and work out means of ensuring effective service delivery as the 2020 deadline draws nearer. A senior Trade Ministry official is urging vigilance following the discovery of what she calls unscrupulous elements posing as employment agents. Ivorian President Alassane Ouattara has called for an investigation into the circumstances that led to the deaths of 60 people at a fireworks display in Abidjan on New Year's Eve. And in the Central African Republic, rebels seeking to oust President Francois Bozié have pledged to spare the capital, Bangui, for a while. Well, that seems to be all in this edition of the news. Thanks for your time and join us at 2200 hours for another bulletin.